Thank you for advance and being interested in dating up the hypergamy factor. This book can be found on Amazon, Nook, and I believe Apple Books in both paperback, and ebook versions. This book dives down the rabbit hole of dating behaviors, covering topics such as hypergamy, sexual marketplace value or SMV, and notions of race and gender. The main purpose of the book, aside from discussing various topics revolving around sexual marketplace value, or SMV, is also to provide a quantitative basis for valuation in the dating market. In this video, we are going to discuss the character origins and how I came about and the steps I took to get them. Now, in this book, you'll notice a handful of comic book characters that are cave people. And I came up with this idea, it hit me as I was going about my day. And then I drew these characters down. And then I contacted a freelance illustrator, one of the best out there, Christian Mira, last name Mirra. So you can check him out at christianmira.com. I explained to him the context of the picture, and then he did an initial sketch based on my drawing and the concept. And then some of the drawings I did approve, and when I approved them, they were done in black and white illustration. And then finally, I told Christian, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do a full color book. I know it's going to cost more, and I'll eat a lot of it, but just for the art, I decided to go in with a full color book, which would give the reader a feeling of a graphic novel meets math economics book. Our three main characters are Adam Alpha, Brianna Bones, and Benny Beta. They appear throughout the book frequently in all the chapters and chapter headings, right before the chapter summaries. Adam is the leader of the tribe and is always seen with his pet rabbit Sherman. Benny is the innovative cave person, inventor of the wheel and other innovative systems that help the tribe survive easier. And Brianna is the head gatherer and doctor of the tribe. She gathers medicinal herbs, berries, and poisonous plants that Adam and the tribe use to coat their weapons in when they're on the hunt or on the attack. Before I go into the origins of our three main characters, I want to talk about an adjunct character named Smokehouse Sam. He's in the Exit Strategies chapter, and the point of Smokehouse Sam's story was to illustrate how health impacts sexual marketplace value. So I used a story of a chain smoker to illustrate that point and various calculations based on life expectancy and smoking. Here's the initial drawing of Smokehouse Sam. I had an idea of a modern balding guy, a cigarette in each hand, a brand name shirt based on the cigarette brand that he got from sending in all his empty cigarette cartons. And he even has cigarettes in his pocket. He even has a little pocket protector with cigarettes in them. And he also smokes at least one or two cigarettes in his mouth. So this was an extreme view of a chain smoker that I wanted to use as comedy. And this is the type of comedy that you'll find in the book. Extremely brazen humor, but it's to illustrate the point. In the initial drawings of Adam Alpha, Benny Beta, and Brianna Bones, Christian took this picture of Smokehouse Sam, the one in the previous slide, and expounded upon it, making it even more extreme and in your face. Originally, Brianna was called the Breeder, but we decided to change the name because it may be unnecessarily offensive to some people. So at first, when I didn't have a name for her, I wanted it to be an alliteration, like Adam Alpha, Benny Beta, Smokehouse Sam, Best Buy, Circuit City, etc., etc. But before I could find a name for her, I was going to think maybe something along the lines of Gabriella Gamma, but I was like, nah, I wasn't going to do that. So Breeder Cave Woman came to my mind. Now pay attention to Smokehouse Sam, and I'll show you his evolution. So initially, when I was going to put Smokehouse Sam's story in the book as an illustrative story, Christian decided to update. He recommended updating the Smokehouse Sam image to be more of a cave person, like a revised history type of image, because we all know that cave people didn't have cigarettes and matches. But just for the comedy and for impact, he combined the picture of a cave person what it would be like if they actually was a chain smoker and as extreme as Smokehouse Sam. Adam Alpha is our Alpha Chad character. I was inspired by the numerous incel pictures that were online that comically displayed the human condition according to how they see the world. So with this in mind, I decided to draw my idea of the alpha of the tribe before I went through my process as I explained in the past. And as you'll see, the character image of Adam went from more serious to more comical. Here you can see my disproportionate drawing with Adam's right arm being many times bigger than his left. In his left, he's holding his club, and he's proudly holding up Sherman. In this part, he was a hunter. He hunted down a rabbit and choked the life out of it, so the tongue is sticking out. Christian took this image and ran with it, pardon the pun. And you can see now he's included tribal members in the background with a volcanic activity. In this particular picture, Adam has a more crazy, maniacal look, but we decided to tone it down to this picture. A less crazed look on Adam's face still has the CMC tattoo from before. We were going to call it his tribe the Cro-Magnon crew, but we decided to do without the tattoo in the final version. And as you see, more emphasis placed on Sherman the rabbit with the rabbit's tongue sticking out, making it more comical. And finally, the Adam that you know today, and fleshed in with all the colors in the background, including the way his tribe looks, which his tribe is a multi-racial tribe. However, they all are in the same culture and they all migrate with each other from place to place, which is what would be expected in the Holocene period when migrations of Homo sapiens were converging at different points and they were sharing technologies. Brianna Bones' origins come from my sketch as a focused more on the outline of her and the concept of a cave woman who is the most sought after and considered a breeder or breeding. And then we went from that mentality and that model to include more of an inclusive model of her skills and benefits she brings to the tribe besides her attractiveness. Finally, we settled upon her hair color based on a myth and a story we generated around her being descended from a goddess of fire or a phoenix of fire. In this picture of Brianna, my original name for her was Bone Hilda. I wanted to do something with the name Bones. I was inspired by Rihanna's short hair at the time, so I drew someone with exaggerated features and a real short hairstyle, and she evolved into this next picture where her hair is more flowing. Instead of an apple shape that she had previously, she's down to a pear shape, more proportional, more leggy, less busty, and a more emphasis on the aesthetics as far as having the trademark flower that she carries in her hair. In this picture, instead of having all the suitors in the forefront, I wanted to have the suitors who are paying homage to her, Adam, Benny, and one unnamed caveman. But I wanted to move forward the scowling and the jealous women to the front, and some of the ogling men a little bit more off to the side, but still in the back where their expressions can be seen. Here you can see it all fleshed in, colored in. And you could see the crazies in the background, and all the little kids that Adam sires by the many women of the tribe. They all have the same hairstyle. So they're all looking like at Adam like, there he goes again. And this is the type of image I like to portray about Adam, Benny, Brianna, and how they interact with their tribe. The scientist on The Simpsons, John IQ Nerdlebaum Frink Jr., inspired the initial sketch on Benny that you're going to see in the next slide. However, he goes from this figure to being a more muscular and stocky figure, though he's still balding in both. Now, as you go through the book and you see the different chapter illustrations that Benny is involved in, you'll see he goes from experiencing pain in the sexual marketplace and also observing things in the sexual marketplace from a more refined approach. As we go from chapter to chapter, he begins to get into his own and display his own value through his scientific observations and his inventions. And here's the first image that I sketched of my idea of Benny. Well, actually, he wasn't completely balding in this one, but he had more of a thinning hairline. And here he's pondering over what to do with this wheel type apparatus that he has in his hand. And following the process, Christian took this and expounded upon it, giving me a black and white sketch. And here we have the final colored in sketch that I used in the book, and it was approved. Drink your morning coffee or tea with your favorite characters from the book. Support us at oktobecliche.com. That's www.ok, the number 2, the letter B, cliche, CLICHE.com. The link is in the description, or it may be in this slide. Don't forget to purchase or reserve your copy of Dating Up, the Hypergamy Factor today. Check the links in the description and or links provided in the video. And remember, I'm not here to hate the player or the game, just to put numbers in the game. Till next time.